All right, GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley is pushing back against fellow White House hopeful Christie's claims that she and some other candidates do not call out former President Trump enough. Well, I'm not obsessively anti Trump like he is, Haley said in an interview with Fox News Digital. I talk about policies, she added, pointing to times she has disagreed with Trump, including over January 6th government spending and the Russia Ukraine war. Christie, a former governor of New Jersey, has criticized 2024 Republican presidential candidates on multiple occasions for not taking aim at the former president. In April, Christie compared the candidates' treatment of Trump to that of Lord Voldemort, the character from the Harry Potter series, who is so feared people do not speak his name. Christie has taken direct aim at Trump frequently throughout his campaign and continues to push others in the Republican field to do so. He echoed the sentiment earlier this week while in New Hampshire, specifically calling out Haley, a former governor of South Carolina, according to NBC News. He's like Voldemort in the Harry Potter books, he who shall not be named. The other candidates won't even name him, Christie said Monday. Nikki Haley says the candidates who's about the past. Nikki, it's okay. Say his name. It's all right. There are multiple things I disagree with him, but it will be on policy, Haley said Wednesday while in New Hampshire. It's not just not liking someone because of personal vendetta. It's making sure we talk about who is going to who's going to be the next president that can actually deal with the new issues and have new solutions. Recent polling from Morning Consult shows Trump continues to be the frontrunner of the Republican race. A recent Fox Business poll found Trump holding a wide lead in Haley's home field of South Carolina, with 48% of support from GOP voters compared to Haley's 14%. Christie fell far behind Trump in the Morning Consult poll, garnering around 2% of potential GOP primary votes compared to Haley's 59% and Haley's 4%. For a second when I read that last part, I thought I was going to say Haley's 24. It's like there's no way that she has any double digits anywhere besides maybe her home state, and even that's more so just because people who live in South Carolina really probably do want to see one of their own make it to the White House. Christie is someone who I don't think has any chance of getting the nomination. I don't even think he believes he has a chance of getting it. But I can say that he has really earned my respect because this is a guy who at one point went from being a possible contender for Trump's VP, for Trump's cabinet, who helped him on his re-election campaign, to now coming out and saying, get over him. He's done. You guys have to call this person out. And I think Haley is really full of crap where she says there are multiple things I disagree with him. It will be on policy. Well, that's the point of what Christie is saying. You can disagree with him, but say, hey, the former president did this well or whatever, but I don't think we should go back to that for reasons this, that, or the other. Christie is absolutely correct when he says most of these other candidates will not say Trump's name, like they're afraid of him. And the few times that they say his name, they're very complimentary. I mean, even with someone like DeSantis, who's doing better than pretty much the whole field combined besides Trump, he was afraid to say Trump is lying about me, he's wrong. He's taken some of the most subtle jabs because he's, in his heart, he's afraid, he's scared. He's worried that even if he tries to come back in 2028 and run for president again, all the scars that Trump inflicted on him will still be there for people to mock him over. And to describe Christie as obsessively anti-Trump when you yourself go out of your way to never mention this man, like if Christie is obsessively anti-Trump, she is obsessively afraid of Trump. And it's so sad because people like her, Hutchinson. I'm not even going to bring up Hutchinson because at least he did say he thought Trump should drop out of the race. But like people like her, DeSantis, Scott, Ramaswamy, all the rest of these people, they want to be the leader of the free world, most powerful person in America, and they're too afraid to call out their main competitor. If I was running for president and Trump was leading me by 30, 40 points, I would say, okay, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I can't go any further down than this. Let me fire on him with all levels of scorn that could possibly be reserved for a competitor. I would say, why would we renominate the only person who's lost against Biden to run against him again? Why would we support someone who, as Social Security is one of the most popular programs in America, tried to cut it as part of his budgets. Why would we support someone who for months and months lied about losing an election to such an extent that his supporters believed his BS and tried to kill his vice president? I mean, that's why I said I'm so frustrated, because Trump is not this infallible, mysterious, bombastic figure that he was in 2016. He's not the powerful incumbent that he was in 2020, as far as, at least if you're running the Republican primary, was. He is very, very damaged, but he's running against a majority of candidates who are just too afraid. They want to save their career, so they don't want to go after him in any way that could be very destructive, because they know that he likes to have revenge and will come back and try to make the rest of their career a living hell. So it's up to someone who's basically done even running for anything, like Christie, to have to say, okay, well, you know what? Nobody wants to do the job. I'll do it. And I can respect him for that, even if I don't think he's going to get the nomination or come anywhere close to it. He's not doing any worse than the rest of them. He's at 2% as the anti-Trump person to the supposedly not obsessively Trump person of Haley at 4%. So she's not really doing much better at all. And it's funny that the more I think about her, the more I think about how every lane she had to run in has been taken by somebody else. Like, minority candidate from a southern state that can say Republicans don't have a problem with people of color. Oh, you mean Tim Scott? Young candidate who, won some landslide election in some state that the Democrats used to actually be able to do stuff in before it went completely red. Oh, you mean like DeSantis? It's interesting how she is so vapid to where I really hope, what's the one from South Dakota? Christie Noem. I hope she doesn't enter the race, because the only thing Haley has going for her now of any distinction is her gender. And if some other woman gets in the race, then I think Haley will be completely wiped out. She'll have nothing, because she is someone, whether it be as a politician, candidate, whatever, who stands for nothing. Her positions are laughable and nebulous. She's hypocritical. I mean, you're talking about spending when you believe in trickle-down economics. It's just, it's so sad to watch somebody like this who remember, was governor of, a state of moderate size, the head of state of a state, be too afraid to criticize their main competitor when they run for president. So if anyone sees this and they want to run for any office, don't run if you're too afraid to criticize your main opponent, because that shows you don't need this position. If you're too scared to follow the basics of, here is where me and this other person disagree and why you should support me, don't jump in. Don't waste your time like these Republican cowardly candidates are doing.